Hello everybody, how are we doing today? So today I'm making a speed build, a fun size house. It's a very small little cottagey sort of place. It is only 5 by 6 squares long and it's designed for only one sim. For this property I wanted it to have sort of like a cabin sort of farmhouse feel to it, but I wanted to make it really cute and cozy and intimate. I added a balcony onto it to make it seem a bit bigger and fill up more space on the property, and then I decorated it with a lot of trees and flowers to make it look pretty, as you will see me doing shortly. This is also the first time I used the move object cheat. I usually don't use it just because I like playing the game how it was originally made, except for the money cheat. I always use the money cheat because you can never have too many sim loans. So I got the inspiration for this house from my friend Georgia, and she's, well, short and fun size, and so jokingly I said that I'd make her a fun size house to match her, although the sim that I created for this house was just a random male sim rather than Georgia herself. So as you might have noticed in my last video, the same with this one, I'm doing the exterior of the house first. It's just a personal preference. I prefer doing the whole outside and then working out the layout of the room and the decoration on the inside afterwards as a secondary thing. Just a personal preference. Everybody has their own. So I still struggled with the move object cheat because it was the first time I used it, and sometimes I couldn't get objects to the right level, even though I've seen other speed builders manage to do it. So if you've got any tips or tricks about how to get objects to certain levels that don't usually want to sit at those levels, please let me know. I need a little bit of help. So I'm doing a little bit of landscaping at the front to make it look a little bit pretty when you look at it from the front view, but the main focus for the plants is going to actually be at the back, where I'm going to create a nice little sitting space and also pop a barbecue out there in case if you want to make yourself some burgers and hot dogs and just sit and relax. I quite like small homes because they make everything feel more cozy and intimate. So this is what I was meaning by struggling with the trying to get objects at certain levels. So when I tried to put the gnome on top of the pedestal, it wouldn't fit. So if you know how to do something like that, please let me know. So this is the back of the house, and I wanted to make it sort of like an enchanted forest sort of feel or look to it. So I'm adding a lot of vines and ivy to the back wall, and I didn't put any windows on it. I love the cherry blossom trees. I think they're really pretty and a beautiful colour. I'm just making it so it's easily accessible, but it's just nicely framed in an enchanted forest sort of way. And here's the barbecue, as I said, in case if you want to have a barbie outside. Another problem with the move objects function is objects going through walls. This was not something I originally considered when placing things, so I have to make a couple of adjustments throughout the build. So now I'm doing the interior, and it's really simple because it's very small. It's literally just one bathroom, one bedroom, and then a combined kitchen and living space. And I wanted to just choose sort of homely features, make it really warm and inviting. So I just decided to start with the bathroom, to sort of start with one corner and make my way around to the rest of the house. And this is also the first time I used the debug objects as well, so you can see me just sort of scrolling through things, working out what I have available to use. I like to put mirrors in bathrooms or spaces to make things look bigger than they appear. It just opens up a small space a lot more. So as you can see with a lot of these things, it's a lot of trial and error. I'll put an object in, I'll take an object out, I'll move things around. And it's just because I'm not familiar with all the materials and I'm still getting used to the space. I don't go into these builds with a specific idea or plan. I just sort of make it up as I go along, see what I like, see what I don't, and adjust from there. So the bedroom is a blue and white theme. So I've tried to choose objects that fit in with that. Adding some clutter decorations to make it seem a little bit more homely. I like with the move objects function that you can stack things. I like the way the curtains on top of each other looks. I think that adds a little bit more texture and interest to a room. I also like that you can shove a shelf pretty much on top of a mirror, as I've done. Again, it just means that you can add more details to the room, make it a little bit more homely. So here I was struggling with trying to find things that I could put up there. As I said before, still not super familiar with that move objects cheat, so I was just sort of trying to see what would be able to be put there and go from there. I originally was thinking about a wardrobe, but then I thought that if I put a wardrobe in, you would probably not be able to walk in or out of the room. So instead I just put a shoe rack at the bottom of the bed, and I hung up a nightgown as well. I wanted to add one of these corner pieces in, but I couldn't get it to fit. But later on I moved the door, so then I managed to squeeze one in, which I think adds a bit more interest and dimension to the room. So I don't have many expansion packs, so there's only so many items that I have available. The reason for this is I just can't afford to spend all my money on Sims as much as I would love to be able to do that, so I just sort of collect them over a period of time. Once I've got a bit of money, and also once they go in special. I try not to buy them at full price, but I've found that the expansion packs tend to go on special when it comes up to a time that's close to the expansion pack that it relates in a way. I'm not sure if I explained that very well. So for example, the spooky stuff pack and the vampire expansion, they both went on sale at the beginning of October, because October is Halloween and the vampires and spooky stuff both relate to Halloween. I only bought the vampires one and not the spooky stuff pack though. And I remember back in February, the garden one, there's a romantic garden one, I forget the name of it, but that also went on special around Valentine's Day, again because it relates to romance and Valentine's Day. You also might find that when they do a release of another expansion, other ones will come on sale. Not that particular one, but around the release dates. So if you're thinking of buying yourself an expansion, just keep on checking the website, because they do sales quite frequently, and if you can pay less, you should. Not really a good brand ambassador for The Sims, but you know, every penny counts. So here I had a little bit of a dilemma. I wanted to have a large TV, and I only had space really for a wall TV. However, I didn't want to put it directly over the window because it looks a little bit silly if you look through the window on the outside. So although you wouldn't be able to do this in real life, I mounted it to the curtain over the window. So it looks fine from the outside and it looks fine from the inside. I managed to also squeeze in a little dining table for one. This is really a lonely little house. You could only have one person in here, or you'd just have to have like shift sleeping patterns. Actually no, maybe one of the Sims could nap on the couch. I take it back, this is a house for two. One Sim can sleep on the couch and one can use the bed. So now I'm getting near the end of it, so I'm just trying to put the final little details to everything, make sure it looks how I want to, put artwork up. You can see that I'm changing my mind a lot. That's because, again, as I said, I have no preconceived idea about how I want it to look. I just sort of put things up, see how it looks. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't like it, I change it. And you can really see me going through that creative process a lot. And a mailbox and a bin, and we're pretty much done. This is the house. What do you guys think? Do you like it? I like it. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe or comment. It would mean the world to me, and stay tuned for my next video. Have a good one, guys.